Thank you. Right. Yeah, nice meeting everyone here. Once again, that just introduce myself. I'm Carroll from Similarweb. So I'm actually overseeing similar business in Southeast Asia here, right? So when we actually entered the market was actually about 3 years ago. When we see the demand for similar data is actually rapidly increasing. So that's why we set up the hub here, based in Singapore to serve the region. Right. Before I start today, I would like to introduce the team today. Today I'll have Jason P, the Director of Sales, will be leading this session with us today. He will be running through the live demo later with all of you. Like we have chosen some of the use case based on the audience today, right? And for some of you that actually will have questions to ask, we have another two colleagues, also another Jason, and the other one is Manzi, that actually in the chat room that answering your question. So feel free to put in your question that we will have someone to live answer you that before coming to the Q&A session later, right? Okay, yeah, maybe I'll just start with today's agenda, right? The moment you see the deck here, so I'll just only have less than 10 slides here. I think the most interesting one is you want to see the live demo, how this you can put into a practical hands-on experience for you to pull the data, right? Yeah, so today will be very simple. We'll do a quick introductions about Similarweb. So that's mainly for some of you that who new to Similarweb, who is Similarweb. I'll do a quick introductions about this. Then we'll follow by Similarweb actually come with different product. That's actually we have Similar Lite product, the freemium product, the extension, and the pro. So not everybody, not all the product you need to pay, but some actually the data is free for you guys to actually access to. Right. The third one will go to the live demo, and we'll end up with the 10 minutes Q&A. Right. Okay, now, so for some of you that are actually new to Similarweb, Similar is actually a business intelligence tools which provide insight data of any website, any app, in any market or any industry that you want. So just trying to put it simple. So in case you want to know how we position in the market, is actually we are measuring the digital world. So that's how we see. Right. The other way to highlight like some of the things that we cover in the market is that Similar today actually cover more than 100 million website in the world. That's also including the app, and also we are the only channel that, and we are the only tools that cover the 7 marketing channel analysis at the moment, right? And today we are cover 190 plus countries. So today you can particularly zoom into the country and see what would be the insight you can pull up, particularly from the country by the IP address itself, right? Then what a key thing that Similarweb proud of is actually the data that we are having today is actually almost real time, just that slightly delayed in Asia because we follow the US time. So the maximum you can see the data that we are published on the site is actually 48 hours, about 2 days delay. But yes, but we update the data on almost a real time basis, right? This is actually some of the key things that about Similarweb. Right. I just need to set the stage right. Like, is Similar a direct measurement data? We are not, right? So there are two things that we need to see it how you use a measurement tool. You have your GA. So GA is your direct measurement data that is actually custom towards how you understand your own business. But Similar is a another simple way to explain Similarweb, we are a competitor analysis tool, right? So that's actually we designed to give you a consistent and accurate understanding of the entire market plus your competitive set. So we are not measuring your own site, I mean your own data, but we actually from a third-party measurement company that we are providing the same ruler to measure everyone's here. Okay. All right. This is probably my last 4 slide, but before that, I'm sure like during the presentation, a lot of people are going to ask me like, oh, how do you guys collect the data, right? In Similarweb, we don't collect cookies at all. So we are 100% cookieless collections, right? So mainly the data we are collecting from these 4 key points, right? So that in case that some of you that might, oh, are you collecting the cookies and the data can be put into the buying tools to actually act on it? We are not. We are actually just providing the insight data here, right? The data collection part, that's where I'll highlight these 4 things where for you to know where we collect the data. So the first one is actually the contributory network, right? Contributory network, this referring to the devices that you're using. This is mainly for the consumer product that you're using today. It will cover from the personalizations product that you're using, the I would say the performance product that you're using, or even like to some of the software that you're using. So these are the tools, or I would say the devices that are feeding the data to us on a daily basis. And these are the product that you're widely used, like to, for example, like keep track of your behavior every day, how you actually can do a test on, let's say, internet speed testing. So those are the tools that is actually part of the contributory network that we are collecting the data. Right. The second part of the data is coming from the partnership, right? We partner with internet company, telco, and also partner with today the DSP data that we are able to actually get it from here. So later we'll show you some of the things like we can deep dive into what creative that the user are using, the marketers are using, what network they are buying into, what publisher they are buying into. So this is because that the data we are partnering today is also enabled by our partners, yeah, that we are having in our network right now, right? The third part of data is the direct measurement data. So we have more than hundreds, thousands of brands actually connecting their GA data to us. That is also feeding to our AI layer. So in that case, that you will be able to see that the data that we are seeing here is very close to the direct measurement data that you're having here, right? Last but not least, which is the public data source. I'm sure that I'm not sure whether you're familiar with Google indexing technology. So Similarweb have our own technology of scraping the data from the internet. So that's where that you're giving us like why we can today analyze more than 100 million sites, that because it's actually that we understand the site without you telling us. We already know like you are under e-commerce or we are under media company, because that's where the content you put on site, then we scrape the content back. Right. Yeah, of course, that we are going through the data modeling, and eventually that we deliver the data via quite an interesting set of the data you would like to see later on in the live demo. Okay. Now this I will skip this, but how do you actually beneficial from Similarweb data, right? Like I mentioned just now, it's not everything you need to pay for it. You can actually get it live on the data on the site itself, right? Just to highlight to you, like for some of you that are free user, that you would like to try it out on Similarweb data, you can always go to the website here. This is called Similarweb Lite. You can always put in the website that you want to see in the box here, right? Directly, we will pull out the data on the screen, like on the right hand side you are seeing here, right? So this is actually free. Anyone can actually just put the site and then you will see it from here, right? Now for Similarweb Pro product itself, this is where like you, for anyone they would like to go for a 7-day trial. Later on we will share the contact. You feel free to reach out to us. We will assign you a link that you can sign up for a 7-day trial. This is actually a Pro. Basically, once you sign up, you actually almost see like how the Pro product is. But of course, there is some data limitation, like you don't see all the data point. You will always see the preview, and also like but most of the features you will be able to see it there. So it just for you to try it out with 7 days. But basically the data you are seeing there, you are seeing the worldwide data set, and also you are seeing the past 3 months data available in the Pro. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us. We'll give you a link, right? Now, the third one that you can use it for free is Similarweb Extension, right? You can go to your browser and you search for Similarweb Extension, right? So this is where you can install it in your browser basis, right? So for the any site that you are going into, for example, here, let's say I'm going into Lazada, right? The moment that you open up this extension, we will right away actually pull the insights for you about the performance of this site for the past 6 months, right? You can scroll down, not only you're seeing the visit, but you're seeing much more data set over there, right? Last but not least is the Similarweb Pro. This is actually our Pro versions, like later we will show you, but you can get a feel of a live demo how this you were expecting to see in the Pro. Yeah, so later we'll run through the Pro to show you some of the capability that you can see. Right. Before I'm passing to Jason here, hope you guys have a understanding of how Similarweb position in the market, and yeah, feel free to actually start putting in the questions if you have anything to ask about, like let's say the example, the methodology and all this. We are happy to answer to you. Right. I will over the stage to Jason for the live demo.
Thank you, Carol.
I will actually stop sharing my screen because we are going to the live demo. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Carol. Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure today to actually have the chance to share with you guys on some of the experience that we actually work with various different clients from different industry. So later on, we will actually share some interesting use case on how a customer in a different industry, how they actually use Similarweb to find the data that you need. Okay, so even though today, let's say you are first time seeing our platform, don't worry, because later on, you will definitely agree with me that the platform is actually very user-friendly and it's very easy, just within a few click of a button, then you can actually get to the insight that you need. All right, so let me share my screen now. Okay, a moment. Wait a moment, there's some
Sure, no problem at all. Take your time. In the meantime, you guys, don't forget that this webinar is actually still open for registration. So for next week's event, if you have anybody at all, anyone in mind who would like to join this webinar, go ahead and ask them to sign up. Registrations are still open. It's absolutely free. And yeah, don't forget to stay on till the very end where you answer our post-event survey, because once again, I'd like to remind you that we're giving away to 2 winners an Apple gift card worth 25 USD. And as you saw on everyone, Facebook, IG, Twitter, Apple has just launched or is going to launch new products real soon. So a little discount would help for those who are eyeing their new products. And on top of that, don't forget to leave your questions in the Q&A box. Avoid leaving them in the chat, because once again, they can get lost in the messages really, really easily. So, yes.
Yeah, Lauren, just so sorry for that. Jason is actually logging in because we're having some issue to share the screen, but very quick ones that are coming in. All right.
It's perfectly fine. It happens to the best of us. Like I think even maybe about was it yesterday or last week's event, we had a bit of technical issues. I came on screen and nobody could see me, but they could hear me. So we're like, oh, okay.
We're sharing a file just now. I'm not sure what's yeah.
It's okay. Take your time. You guys understand. You guys who are watching this right now, you understand, right? Technical issues happen from time to time. Right now, with everything being so remote and everywhere, everyone being everywhere in the world right now, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, these kind of things do happen from time to time. So we seek your kind understanding and we apologize for any of the inconvenience. But right now, to everyone who's in the chat, let us know where you're watching this from. Are you Malaysian? Are you from Singapore? I remember, I think some time back we might have had some people from Hong Kong as well. Let us know where you're tuning in and tell us how your day is going. I see Malaysia, Johor Bahru, Indonesia. Hello. So I hope your Wednesday is going well, Carol. How are you doing? I know it's just we're dead smack in the middle of the week. So what's the rest of your week like?
Yeah, pretty heavy right now because it's actually closing the quarter. So yeah, it's the quarter kind of rushing off the time. Yeah, so I think, yeah, Jason is actually back to the screen right now. Yeah.
All right, cool. Jason, how's your screen going?
Yeah, everything's fine. Thanks, Laurie.
Okay, great. I will skedaddle out of here. If you need me, just call me. I'll be back.
All right. Hi, everyone. So yeah, so sorry for some of the tech issue just now. All right, so I'm back here. So let me share my screen now and we are good to start our session today. All right, can you guys see my screen here? Okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned just now, today basically we will share some of the past experience on how we actually work with clients from different industry on some of the important use case on how you can get the data from our platform. So looking at the crowd, today, basically, we have prepared three parts today. So the first part, basically, we will focus on the use case for research and also consulting firm, where how you can use us to research about an industry or maybe a company. And second part, we will actually look into how agency use Similarweb. And the last part of today, we will actually look into how a brand or a retailer use our data to actually advance in the digital space. So now I will start with the first part on how a research company or a consulting firm, or maybe today you are actually from the strategy side, you would like to use Similarweb to research, to understand a market or industry, or maybe look into a specific company. All right, so what I can do now, first of all, we can actually help you to look into how the industry performs. So on Similarweb Pro Platform, okay, we have a total of 210 industry. And all this is actually done by AI. For instance, here, let's say today there is a new website in the markets, right? Let's say abc.com start in Malaysia. So long this website actually crossed the 5,000 monthly visits in a month, then we will actually start to track on this website and start to categorize this site. And from here, you can actually start to identify them using our platform here. So as a start today on this industry, first of all, we can actually look into how the industry actually evolved in terms of digitally. Okay, so what we can see here is, let's say we focus on our Malaysia market for today. All right, looking at the top 100 website in all category, which means the top 100 website in Malaysia. So what we can see here is, this is the total visits that actually brought by this top 100 website, okay, which is about 5.7 billion of traffic. And we always want to know whether this actually changed because of the pandemic, or whether this pandemic actually drive up the traffic to all these websites here. So what we can do, we can actually look at in terms of the comparison. For here, to help us to understand the traffic of all these top 100 websites in 2021 versus 2020. So what we can see right here is based on here, what we can see, let's say for last year, the same period from January to August, the total traffic to all the top 100 websites in Malaysia is about 11.7 billion of traffic, compared to this year about 13.7 billion. So we can see because of the shift in behavior that actually drive everyone to go online, we can see this actually increased 17% of the traffic to go to all these top 100 websites in Malaysia. So once we look at the top level, now we can actually focus on a particular industry. So I believe everyone now actually start shopping online, and definitely, let's say today you might see some of your parents or maybe some of your friends that didn't shop online, that actually start to shop online. So what we can see right now is, let's say we look at the e-commerce and shopping website. All right, so you can see here within a click. Then right now we only focus on the website that related to e-commerce and shopping in Malaysia. So same thing here, let's say we do the same analysis. We can see if we are comparing the same period of time. Okay, let me change to January to August. Okay, so what we can see right here is, let's say just for the e-com industry, this is actually a 25% growth. So if today you are from an e-com business, you are doing a sales online, you know that this is the potential that you can actually grow on your website traffic, because the peers in this industry actually grow their traffic by 25% if we are comparing this period of time. Okay, so besides on e-com, I think there is one industry that is actually very interesting. So on the platform itself, we also allow you to build your custom industry. So this is an industry that I built earlier, which is the Malaysia automotive website. All right. So what we can see here is we can look at how this industry actually changed because of the COVID situation. All right. So we will look at a longer historical period now. Let's say we start from 2019, which is before the pandemic, and until last month, which is August 2021. So using the platform itself, you can quickly go to the trend and identify the trend of the industry here. All right, so I believe you all will see the graph here. Okay, so what we see here is for this custom industry, I actually put in all the car manufacturer website like Perodua, Proton, Honda, and Toyota into my custom industry here. And from the top 10 car brands that we see right now on my screen, okay, we can see how the traffic to their site actually changed because of the situation that we see now. So from here, you can see a deep V shape here, okay, which is in the month of April 2020. Okay, I think we all still remember this is actually when we start our first MCO. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually from mid of March until May. Okay, this is our first time of MCO where we can see Army actually setting up the roadblock. Everyone actually cannot go up. So right now we can see this is actually affecting the car boys in Malaysia. So from here we can see before the pandemic, you can see right now, let's say looking at the top 10 website, the traffic is about 3 million and 2 million from the top 10 website. Okay, but in the month of April, they actually dropped to about less than 1 million of traffic. But in the next month, which is in the month of May, we can see this is actually a V-shaped recovery for that. Okay, so from here, some of the initiative that we can see is, I think we all still remember, government actually rolled out the 0% SST to actually help to boost up the sales for the car. And we also start to see a lot of car brands actually start to reactivate their marketing campaign. So from here, we can see from May onwards, their traffic actually start to increase again, and even higher than the previous before pandemic situation. Okay, so once we identify how the industry trend and who are the leader in the industry, what we can do next on the research tool here is we can focus on a specific website. So what I will do next is we can go to our company research here. Okay, since we are on the automotive topic, I will just pick some of the car brands that is in Malaysia to actually show you on how you can actually do the research here. So first of all, let's say now we focus on these 5 websites, which is Proton, Perodua, Toyota, Honda, and Nissan. Okay, so what you can do directly on the platform is we can direct compare our performance versus the peers in the industry, okay, in terms of our visits in this particular period of time. And we can also look at in terms of the traffic share for us to understand our position in the markets compared to our competitor here. And secondly, here is we can also look into in terms of the device distribution for us to understand on our traffic. Let's say using GA, you know that how many % of your traffic is from mobile, but using Similarweb, you can understand whether this is the same trend in your competitor. Let's say today you are from Proton. You can see that 85% of your traffic is from mobile, but for your competitor, for instance, like Perodua and Toyota, you can actually see that they're actually receiving a lot more or maybe more percentage of traffic, which is coming in from desktop. Okay, so this is something that you can compare, and not just on the traffic level, you can look into in details on the engagement level as well. From here, you can actually look into how your website visits perform, the time that people spend on your website, and how many pages they check every time they go to your site. So this is actually like you are seeing on your GA, but right now you can compare them with your competitor. So with the practice that you see here, with the benchmarking that you see here, you can actually more understand on how you actually position here compared to some of the competitor that we see. And right on the platform itself, we can actually do some quarterly review. So we know that a lot of time we will need to look into how our website perform in a quarterly basis. So what we can see here, for instance, we compare Q2 this year versus Q1. So we can actually look at how our traffic, our website actually perform in this period of time. So some of the time, let's say from your own measurement data, you can see a growth in your website. But is this growth actually represent a good indication? If today your website is growing, but your competitor is declining, then this growth definitely is a good growth. But if let's say today your growth is 5%, but all your competitor is actually grow by 10%, then your 5% is not enough. So this is something that you can actually benchmark and further understand on it. Okay. All right, so besides on here, we can also look into in terms of our audience set, okay? So what we can research further here is we can help you to look into, let's say for all these 5 auto websites in Malaysia, what is the total unique audience for all of them, okay? And from here, you can also understand between the overlap audience between you versus some of the competitor. So sometimes you might think that you have the highest overlap with your main competitor, but that might not be the same situation in the digital world. So for instance here, let's say we can see that for Proton, okay, and Honda. So we can see this is in terms of the overlap of unique visitor between them, and this is the set of overlap between Proton and Brodua. Okay, so from here you can do your further analysis. All right, so this is our first part for today, which is on how you can use the tool to research about an industry and also about a particular company. Okay, second part of today, we will actually bring you to the use case of an agency. All right, so we work with a lot of agencies around the world, and from here we actually identify the 3 use cases on how agency can actually use Similarweb. So a lot of time for agency, a new business is where you actually start to pitch a new prospect, and most of the time when you are doing a pitch, you actually is with the management, how they actually want you here is you will need to straight away become an expert of the industry of your prospect so that you can understand about their industry. And from here, you can actually help them on prepare your solution for them and help them to actually perform well in the marketing space. So what Similarweb can help you here is we can help you to become an expert of the industry in a fast and also effective way. So the first point of today, the first use case of our agency of today is we can actually help you to look into how you can actually quickly understand more about your prospect as well as the market. Okay, so first of all, what we can do here, we can go to our website analysis here. Let's say today I'm actually pitching a travel company. All right, so as we know, some of the audience today is actually from Indonesia. So I will actually use the travel site from Indonesia here. All right. So what you can see here, I'm actually just putting in traveloka.com. All right. So just for your information, what you need is actually just the URL link. So let's say today you have a new prospect that maybe you have not heard about them, or maybe you have limited information about them. No worries. You just need the URL link of their website. And you can see right now, we just changed to Indonesia. So with this one pager here, right, we help you to understand more about Traveloka. All right. So from here, at first, we will tell you what is Traveloka here in one line. Okay. And you can see the mobile app that actually related to Traveloka. Okay. We will show you whether this company actually having mobile app as well. All right. And from here, you can look into what is their visits in the market. Okay. In terms of some of their engagement overview. And of course, we can also look into the focus of Traveloka right now. So from here, before you actually start to pitch to your prospect, you actually understand from here where Traveloka actually get their traffic coming in from. Right now, we can see it's like 48% is from direct traffic and 46% is in terms of organic search. So you know it before you start to do the pitch. Okay, and at the same time, if let's say your client is on an international business, you can actually further understand where they get their traffic coming in from. Okay, so from here, we can see that 70% of their traffic is actually from Indonesia and followed by 8% from Vietnam. Okay, so once we actually further understand about our prospect here, second thing an agency will do is you will need to find the right competitor that actually competing with your prospect here. Okay. So most of the time, we might know some of the key competitor, the main one and maybe the second one. So what we can do here is we can find the list of competitor that maybe even your prospect didn't know they are actually competing with that. So how we do it? First of all, we can actually look at in terms of the audience interest. All right. So on our audience interest here, what we see here is the overlapping audience between Traveloka and some of the other websites in Indonesia. Okay, so if you can see when I scroll down here, all right, I start to see a lot of websites here. And if you can see on my right-hand side, in terms of the cross-visitation, we will show you in terms of the percentage of overlap between this website and Traveloka. Let's say we look at the first one, ticket.com. This website actually is having 11% of overlap with Traveloka. This overlap percentage is actually showing you someone that go to Traveloka, okay, and within 24 hours, 11% of them go to ticket.com. So what we can see here is that usually when someone actually visiting a same site, right, which means they maybe check out in terms of your competitor. This is a common. For instance, today when you actually survey a car, when you go to Proton, you might go to Perodua and even Toyota after you check out on Proton. So it's the same story here. When someone actually go to Traveloka to check out a package or maybe some ticket flight, maybe they will go to ticket.com after that, and maybe they will go to Agoda. So from here, you help your client to identify their set of audience, okay, is actually going into which other travel and tourism related website. You can see from our industry here, okay. Besides looking into in terms of the audience overlap, we can do the next thing here is to further understand in terms of, let's say for Traveloka, who is actually competing with them on the search engine. We know now search engine is one of the big channel, okay. A lot of time when people search about a product, they will go to the search engine first, and most of the time we will hear something like Google it, okay. So from here, let's say when we still focus on Traveloka right now, we can help you to identify in terms of on the search engine, okay, who is actually competing with Traveloka organically. All right, so from here, we can identify some of the websites like Agoda, Buggy.com, and also Booking.com here. Okay, this is in terms of organically, and we can also look into in terms of paid. All right, so we can help you to identify who is actually bidding the same keyword as your prospect. Okay, so if I am approaching Traveloka today, I can actually quickly tell my client they are actually facing competition from some of the website here. So if today I know that their main competitor is ticket.com, right? But from here, I can actually identify there is actually some other hotels related website is actually competing with my prospect on this paid field here as well. So this is some additional info that I can bring in to actually when I'm doing the pitch to my prospect. All right. And last on how we actually help here is once you identify the right competitor, what we can do next is we can actually help our client or our prospect to benchmark their performance versus their right competitor here. So what we can see here is, of course, first of all, we can look at in terms of the website performance, like how we see just now on the research part. And we can also look at in terms of how the traffic actually changed. So for instance here, let's say we look at the beginning of the year until August. We can actually see how the traffic between our prospect actually changed with other client that we see here. Okay, so we can see the almost similar trend here. If you identify something interesting, let's say the competitor of your prospect actually grow their traffic a lot in a certain month, this is definitely something that you can highlight when you are meeting the prospect later. And what we can do next is we can go to our marketing channel. And here we break down all the traffic into these 7 channels for you to understand how your prospect get their traffic. And directly, you can actually benchmark this traffic with the set of competitor that we identified just now. For instance, let's say we look at in terms of paid search here between our prospect Traveloka, Ticket, and Agoda, and also Booking.com. We can see that in terms of the traffic that received from paid search, Agoda seems like receiving much more traffic compared to our prospect here. So this is something that we can actually inform or maybe to put into some of our strategy for Traveloka later. All right. So once we identify in terms of this benchmarking and also spot on the growth opportunity for our prospect, what we can do next, okay, is also the last part of how agency use Similarweb here, is we can help you to prepare a detailed plan. Okay, so of course you will need an action plan for your prospect, right? So we can help you to prepare a detailed one. How detailed to it? Okay, let's say we focus on search today. We can help you to look into the exact keyword that actually send traffic to your prospect and also their competitor. Okay, so right now you can see this is all the keyword that we see. Let's say we look at number 3 here, ticket pesawat. Okay, so we can see right here in terms of this keyword search on Google, right? 65% is going to ticket.com and only 35% go to our prospect. So this is a detailed opportunity that you can identify for your prospect here. Okay, if let's say they are also selling the airline ticket on their site, then definitely this is a keyword that you can help them to optimize. Okay, or maybe you can suggest them to actually buy this keyword. Okay, so with the smart filter that we provide to you with just a click of a button, we can quickly identify what are the opportunity for us. So let's say you can see right now when I change to keyword opportunity, the keywords that we will see later is the keyword that Traveloka received less than 1%. Okay, so this is the huge opportunity for our prospect here. And in terms of traffic, we can see right now is about 2.4 million of search visits here. Okay, so let's say we look at the number 2 here, hotels in Malang. Okay, let's say you have this product on your website, or if let's say today Traveloka is actually also selling hotels in Malang. Okay, definitely we know that this is an opportunity that they are actually missing out. Okay, and not just in terms of the opportunity here, we can also even help you to identify what are the paid search that the competitor is actually doing. Imagine today when you're doing your pitch, right? You can tell your prospect that these are the advertisement copy that actually used by your competitor. Definitely, this will actually help you to opens your prospect eyes. Okay, so for instance here, let's say today we look at ticket.com. We can see number 3 here, which is this particular pages is the top 3 performing paid landing page for ticket.com here. And from here, we can actually identify which keyword, which paid keyword is actually bring traffic to this particular page, all right, which is all the AirAsia related keyword, which means ticket.com is buying AirAsia keyword here, all right? And we even show you the advertisement copy. Okay, so right now you can see when someone search about AirAsia in Indonesia, ticket.com is actually serving them this advertisement. Okay, and not just about search ad, we can even look at in terms of the display advertisement. So long the advertisement is actually via ad networks such as GDN, okay, we can identify the advertisement copy for you. All right, so this is a detailed plan that you can prepare for your prospect when you're actually doing the pitch. All right, so the last part of today, which is our last use case of an industry. So we will actually talk about how a brand or maybe a retailer use Similarweb. Okay, so there is also 3 use cases for a brand today. First of all, we can help you to look into how your website perform compared to your competitor here. All right, so I will use a consumer electronics brand, okay, because I know that iPhone 13 is launching. So today we will actually use Apple, Samsung, and Huawei as an example today. Okay, so today, if let's say you are from the brand side, or if you are from maybe one of the brand that you see here today, what you can do on our platform is you can identify your position versus the competitor. Okay, I think we see this traffic and engagement from earlier. All right, and we can even compare in terms of our performance versus our competitor right away on the platform. So from here, we can see, let's say today, Apple.com, their traffic increased about 5% in the latest quarter, while Samsung and Huawei is actually slightly declined a bit. So this is some benchmarking that you can actually do internally, okay? So on top of here, next for a brand retailer side, you can actually look into in terms of marketing channel. It's quite similar to just now the agency use case, but now it's actually for the internal purpose. Okay, so from here, you will be able to identify which channel you actually outperform your competitor, or maybe in which channel you actually have an opportunity to grow. So all this you can analyze in terms of the country that you operate, and also in terms of the historical period or the period of time that you would like to look at it. Just to share some experience here on how we work with some client. So a lot of time when a client actually know that their competitor is doing a big campaign, for example, we know that Apple is doing the iPhone 13 launching. You can actually look at whether this actually has a spike in Apple website. And from here, you can identify which channel actually bring traffic to Apple to identify which strategy they are using to boost up the traffic of their site. Okay. So once we compare in terms of our website here, second part here is we can actually help you to look into how a specific product or a specific category of your product line is actually performed versus your competitor. What we see right now is between Apple total domain versus Samsung.com total domain. Okay, but what we can do next is, let's say today I'm in charge of the tablet business. Okay, and for instance, if I'm in Apple, I'm actually handling the iPad business here. So I would like to understand in terms of the traffic that go to tablet related pages in Apple, how this actually compared to some of my peers, like in Samsung and also in Huawei. Okay, so because of our unique methodology that actually capture the URL link of a website, we can help you to actually group the related pages or the related product into one segment. So right now, the traffic that you see on my screen is the traffic and the trend for tablet related page. For Apple, which is iPad, for Samsung, which is their Galaxy Tab, and for Huawei, which is their MatePad. Okay, and from here, you can actually look into in terms of the trend of our product line versus our competitor. Okay, and after that, what we can do is we can help a brand and a retailer to actually identify a marketplace or maybe a partner to work with. Okay, so a lot of time we know that a lot of brand, you actually have an official store in some marketplace. So some of the example today is, let's say I just focus on Shopee. Okay, what we can do here is we can actually look into how Apple official store in Shopee compared to Samsung and also Huawei in Shopee itself. So all this is actually within a marketplace. So right now, what we can see is the trend, okay? And something interesting that we can see here is, let's say in the month of June, we can see in terms of Huawei official store related pages is actually surpassed Samsung in this particular month. Okay, so maybe they are doing some campaign, or maybe they are doing some collaboration with Shopee to boost up their traffic. And just to highlight again, our platform data that you can see is actually on a real time, okay, like Carroll mentioned earlier. So let's say today we look at what is happening in the past 28 days, right? So we know that in September, we actually have 99 campaign and Shopee. So you can see the trend here directly. Okay, so right now we can see there's a spike of the traffic to Apple related pages in Shopee, actually spike up 58% in this particular day. Okay, so a lot of time a CPG brand or maybe a retailer, they will use us to actually identify their performance or maybe their competitor performance at their brand day or maybe a specific special event day within the marketplace. Right now, you can see a lot of brands start to do brand day with all this marketplace, right? You can actually monitor their performance in this particular period of time. And as our data is updated on a daily basis with a delay of maybe about 48 to 72 hours, which means right after the campaign, you can actually start to analyze their performance using our platform here. Okay. And last use case for the brand and retailer, okay, we can help you to look at what are the products that are actually trending right now. So this will be the last part of my session today. And just to quickly show you guys what we can do. Let's say I'm still using the consumer electronics as an example today. We can look at the search trend to find out what are the popular product that actually being searched on search engine for Apple, Samsung, and also Huawei here. Okay, the period that I'm looking here is for the past 3 months. So I can see here is the top search keyword is iPad. Okay, so from here, you can quickly identify the traffic, the volume, as well as the trend of this particular keyword. And we will tell you who is actually capturing the most traffic from this keyword. If you are Apple today, then you know that you are doing, you protecting all your share here, because most of the keyword that we see here that related to Apple product is actually bring back the traffic to apple.com. Okay, so you can analyze the trend as I mentioned here. Okay, for instance, you can see iOS 15, and we know that this is the period of time when Apple actually launched this OS. Okay, and for Huawei, you can identify some keyword here. So if let's say we look at a different period of time, let's say we focus on the last 28 days, when Apple actually launched their iPhone 13. So from here, you can see the #1 top search term compared to the past 3 months, now is actually iPhone 13. And you can see a clear trend here. All right. So with the tool itself, we help you to instantly identify what are the terms that is actually trending to make sure you quickly optimize towards it and place your strategy around the trending keywords. Okay. And we know the search trend is changing maybe every day, every week. That's why we provide you the real-time data, a weekly analysis, or even a daily analysis here. So sometimes you might think that when iPhone 13 launched, the only search keyword is iPhone 13, but it's not. If you can see iPhone 12 is actually still occupied at the third place here. Okay, even though in terms of the trend is actually declining, but we can see in terms of the position, it still actually have a pretty much share within the search term here. So 7,000 for a phone. Okay, so for iPhone 13, we can see that there is actually people actually look at the past model, which is an iPhone 12 here. All right. So to sum up, here using Similarweb platform, the Pro platform, we allow people from different industry, different department to actually find the data that you need. And you can see just within a few click of a button, you can actually quickly get to the insight that you need, keyword, traffic, benchmarking. So all this is just within a platform. And these tools basically, from the experience that we work with the client here, is a tools that can actually widely used by various departments. All right, so thanks everyone today, and it's really my pleasure to actually can share with you guys on our experience here and all these interesting use case. Okay, pass back to you, Carol.
Right, hope you enjoy what we have shown you. Yeah, so I will actually pass back to Lauren. We actually showed just a sneak peek of the the product itself, but most importantly that how this is beneficial to you, and hopefully you see some of the use case that you can apply it on your own. Yeah, so yeah, over to you, Lauren.
Okay, cool. It's like we're playing tag, but thank you so much for those presentations. We actually have one question that came in, so not sure if you want to answer this right now, or would you like your team to do it? Because we're about to wrap things up, so I'm afraid your team might not have enough time. So I think we'll just read it out right now. Is that okay?
Yep, sure.
Okay, so this one is from On Ong. The question is, do search trends help in product searching for e-commerce? Is there any automation or programming which is able to mimic Google Trends?
I was just trying to understand. So in terms of like, is the search trend help in product searching for e-commerce? The answer is yes. You can. I mean, you can't deep dive to particular, like, which website that what product they're searching by the site, but in Google Trend you can still see, like, in general, for example, like I want to see coffee, this particular search trend, you are still able to see it from there. But in terms of if you want to go into like particular site, like let's say you want to go into Shopee and see how coffee search is that, Google Trend at this moment might not be able to do so. I remember that you can see it from the totality, but I'm not sure. I don't think right now that you can zoom down to like very particular, like let's say coffee with certain brands. I don't think so. But you can see in total Google search how's the volume of the search for coffee, example. And is there any automations or programming abilities similar to Google Trends? This is why actually I need to be more understanding of what do you mean by automations that same to Google Trends. So because this is actually quite a wide questions that if I would want to answer about that.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Maybe later on, you or Jason could leave your contact details, so anybody who is dying to get in touch with you, they can. Let's just take one more from Rachel. This one that just came in. So Rachel's question is, hi, is the research date and trend of Similarweb mainly focusing on physical products? Please share the lists of industries available or applicable if possible. Thanks.
Right. So to answer to you, like the physical product, actually, maybe I put it this way. So the research date and the trend of similar data mainly focus on physical product. Basically, what you want to know about any things that happen in the website, you can find it from there. It doesn't mean that it has to be a physical product. It's the anything that you want to know, like let's say in this case, like, or even coming into services, so long what you want to find that there is actually a URL, you'll be able to find it, the data on Similarweb, right? Any URL, right? So long the URL actually meeting the minimum, I would say that the minimum data that we are setting right now, about 5,000 and above, monthly visit and above, you'll be able to find it in Similarweb. And the list of the industry available is actually quite huge. We are having about 210 industry that you can analyze on it. But besides that, you can actually do a lot of custom industry that you can build on your own. So yeah, the answer is we can't give you a list here because it's actually quite huge. And then it really depends. Like we can even zoom down to like, for example, I want to look into financial services. I can go into insurance. I can go into the retail banking, investment banking. That's actually quite deep down into that, right? Yeah, that's hope I answered to you, Rachel. Yeah, we will actually leave, yeah, maybe Manzi can help me to tap the contact inside. Then we can, yeah, anyone that would like to find out more.
Great, that'd be wonderful. I think Kesh Tani has just a little continuation to Rachel's question, if I'm not wrong. So Tan's question is, how about direct selling industry, like for example, health supplements?
We do actually have quite a number of direct selling customer actually approach us. The direct selling, so maybe I will just put it this way. So long that the direct selling the product that I know some direct selling that you can actually purchase the let's say the product, like you can place the order online. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. So long anything that you can have the activity in digital, then you'll be able to see. I think maybe Kesh, I would like to differentiate a little bit us from the, let's say the example like Nielsen's the in-field study is a little bit different here. We don't do like have the physical individual that we are collecting the data. Let's say I gather 100 people that actually do a Q&A. We don't. We actually 100% based on the online signal that you are interacting with the site itself. So long there's a signal, then we will be able to identify that. We won't be able to know. Let's say you're selling in a really person people to people kind of selling. We don't. That one can only do it achieved via the panel research. Then yeah, that's actually hope I answer your question. Yeah, Kesh.
Okay, so thank you so much for answering that question. At this point, we've run out of all the questions to ask. So I think we can start to wrap things up. And I just want to take some time to thank you, Carroll and Jason, for everything you brought to the table today. I know it's not easy coming in 2 days in a row to talk about, whatever you do, the amazing things you do here at Similarweb. And we'd like to thank you for being a part of our event. It has been an absolute honor to host the both of you. And yes, on behalf of everyone at Exabytes, we'd like to extend our deepest appreciation for your time here today.
Thank you, Lawrence. Yeah, hope we can see you guys soon in any upcoming opportunity that we can share things with the audience that can benefit from. Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely certain we'll see each other again. Thank you so much, Carroll. Thanks, Jason. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. You guys.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.